One of the big questions we always get is, what panel do you use and do you recommend? To put it bluntly, there's a small handful of panels that we actually recommend. We've done the legwork to determine the safest, most reliable, high-performing solar panels that are available on the market over the last few years. Our most popular panel is our Australian-made Tindo Solar panel, which is actually built over in Adelaide in South Australia in a high-tech manufacturing facility. The reason why I made the decision for Virtual Power Co to exclusively partner with Tindo Solar and to date become one of the largest distributors of Tindo solar panels on the east coast of Australia is an intimately personal decision and a reason. And that is that my parents actually got a Tindo system installed back in 2015, and full faith in the product. Unfortunately, the installer used an inferior inverter at the time of install, and in the last few years that actually broke down and subsequently failed. Now, Tindo, wanting to protect their brand, wanting to look after their customers and make sure that they've got that 5-star experience and that they're looked after, came to the party and said, well look, it's not our product, it's not our fault, but we've put together a $5 million insurance fund to be able to help cover for the replacement costs of this failed microinverter, and they actually paid for my dad's inverters to be completely ripped out, replaced at no cost to him. And when that happened, I kind of thought to myself, well, I contrast that with the experience that we have dealing with these Chinese manufacturers where you fight tooth and nail just to get a warranty claim, just to get $50 to swap out a panel on a roof. And you've got Tindo, which are an Australian company building products here in Australia, coming to the party and actually spending thousands and thousands of dollars to swap out something that's not even their problem. And I realized that in order to give our customers and our clients the best possible solar experience, we needed to be exclusively partnered with these guys. And so that process then went on to include us going through a series of due diligence and QA checks with Tindo just to make sure that, are we doing the right thing? What are our installation processes look like? What's our QA look like? What does our customer experience look like? And is that in line with the experience that Tindo customers actually receive? Obviously, one of the great things is that Tindo is Australian made, and it makes me feel good knowing that we're supporting Australian jobs and Australian industry. But not only that, I sleep better at night knowing that our clients have a product on their roof that requires no ongoing service and maintenance, is one of the safest solar panels ever built, and will stand the test of time in the harsh Australian climate. Recently, I attended the facility and I just couldn't get over the fact about how intensely they QA their product, that is quality assurance. Every single step of the way is intensely scrutinized and checked for the highest level of precision, and they want to make sure that the product that comes out of the facility at the end of the day is the safest and highest performing product they can possibly make. That's why they've got the 0% defect policy. So if at any point in the manufacturing process they pick up any defects, that solar panel is then pulled out of the manufacturing line and then recycled and rebuilt from scratch. And to the end that when you actually measure the performance of, say for example, a 410 watt panel, which is the current series of Tindo panel, they'll regularly perform with a positive tolerance. And what that means is the panel will actually be a 415 or a 416, not the 410 that's on the actual data sheet. So the advantage to our clients and to potentially you if you're considering Tindo is that you'll get a panel that is performing more than what is actually expected, which is better for you. It's going to yield you more savings and mean that your system is going to perform long into the future with high performance. The last thing that really drove home for me the benefits of going with an Australian-made Tindo panel versus some of the cheaper Chinese products that are out there at the moment is there was an experiment done between 5 and 8 years ago where a bunch of different solar systems were installed in the middle of the desert in Alice Springs, some of the harshest conditions in our country, and the test was simple. Measured the performance per watt over time and the degradation in performance of each product. And what is surprising about this experiment was the fact that Tindo consistently to this day outperforms all of the cheaper Chinese products that you can install on your roof. And in some cases, by 20 to 30% more. And if you think about that, that can represent 20 to 30% more in terms of savings. And if you multiply that out over the life of the product, which is 25 years, you are going to end up paying back that additional investment that you spent by buying those Tindo panels multiple times over. And so for me, it makes complete sense. It's a no-brainer to go for a product that is going to not only outperform the cheaper counterparts that are available, not only is it safer, but also has no service and maintenance requirements, which means stress-free savings for many years to come. And that's the whole point of doing this, right? Ultimately, you want to get off the grid. You want to stop spending your money, your hard-earned money on power bills that just always seem to be going up. And by investing in quality, by investing in Tindo, for example, you can make sure that that box is ticked and you can achieve that result. Look, some people think that Tindo is expensive and they go for those famous cricketers on TV that are spruiking solar panels, and often those solar panels are those cheap Chinese counterparts that I've talked about. But I think a lot of our smarter clients tend to go for the Tindo product, and it's just simply because they know that over the long term, this is an investment. It's not something that you just do for 5 minutes. It's something that you do for the next 10, 15, 25 years. And as such, the long-term benefits of going for a high-quality product like Tindo outweigh the immediate benefit of saving a few dollars here and there. And if you can't afford to go for Tindo, maybe consider using one of our 0% interest payment plan options to get that upgrade and make sure that you do it properly. Keep your family safe, keep your investments safe, and know that you've got this incredible brand of Tindo, but also us at Virtual Power Co. behind you for your solar journey. Thanks for checking out Tindo. I'm sure after watching this video, you've got a much better understanding as to the reason why you should consider investing in Australian-made solar panels. And it's a no-brainer in my opinion, and I hope that you see the same thing. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer anything that you